I've even been in rooms with men doing it, like men's work and talking about things. And some guys have said, like, I'm okay. I'm letting myself feel all these feelings, and I don't know what to do with them. Like, I
Hmm.
don't know. And so you're 6 years into this. How did you start recoding things that you would understand so that you can have your feelings and not be controlled by them? You can feel them and not like be overwhelmed.
Hmm.
How did you figure that
Well,
out?
one of the biggest things that helped was having a partner that I could communicate with, having somebody that I could talk to about this with my wife, where I could actually, and we had a serious sit down, like academic talk, where we're like, okay, I'm going through this stuff right now. My emotions are coming out. I I'm going to react in weird ways. If I do start reacting in weird ways, talk to me like this. And we started working out code words, and we started working like, hey, we call it the bastard. When I get really stressed out, and if I start to fall into any of the old survival techniques or any of the old systems that my family taught me, if any of the old me starts coming out, my wife was like, hey, the bastard's getting out. You need to put that back in the cage. And I'm like, all right, no,
Right.
I got you. I see what you're talking about here. We need to assess the situation, and I need to put logic into the situation. The more logic I can put into it, which is weird because it's dealing with emotions, but the way I dealt with it was I assessed it with the same kind of logic that I would assess dealing with a professional in any kind of situation I'm in. And
Okay.
with that, I have a goal, and my goal is to be a whole person. My goal is to not be just the shell that I've always put out for everybody, because now I see it's like risk reward. Everybody, men deal a lot in risk reward situations where if this is going to cost me, I'm not going to do it. But if the reward is good enough, the cost can be pretty high. But if the
Right.
reward is still good enough, I'm still going to do this. It has
Right.
to balance out that equation. To me, the risk reward situation has balanced out, where I have seen the positive from connecting with deep emotions, from doing things like crying, from crying on stage in front of other people. The
Hmm.
positive of a man crying in front of other men is exponential, and I've seen it firsthand. And it's something that I will never take back, and I will always continue with, because that kind of power is something that you can't experience till you experience it, and that's something everybody should. I think,
Wow.
to me,
Write
that
that
is
down.
real manliness. Is not is owning all of who you are. Like, I deal with sometimes with what I call the dude bros, the
Right.
ones who are the macho kind of, I'm the man. I got the girl and the cigar and the car. I'm like, okay, well, do what I do one time. Get up on stage and do what I do once. Talk about all your worst pain that you ever went through in front of a group full of strangers, and afterwards let them ask whatever question they want after your deep darkest
Right.
story, and let them dig in for an hour afterwards and get even deeper into it. And if they find a scab, let them peel it off and dig even deeper. And do that one time. Show me how manly you are.
Yeah.
And because when they watch me do it, I end up with those same dude bros afterwards. That's not a dude bro, that's Adam, and he's a cool guy, and he's gonna come give me a hug, and he's gonna cry, and he's gonna talk to me about his own life and about when he was a kid, he was bullied, but now he's gonna try to help his friend out. Because the shell we have when we see people, we can drop, we can break down, and in the what I think I have the superpower of now, if anything, is those stratifications that we put up in society, where this person's rich, this person's poor, that person's atheist, that person's religious, this person's conservative, that person's a Democrat. I walk right through those, because none of those matter. Because 99.9% of people at one time have felt inside, I'm not good enough, and I need to burn myself apart to fit my world.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad that that's the one bipartisan thing that we seem to have. But if it is, then maybe it's something we can use to help heal this giant rift that's growing in society, and remind everybody to give love to the ones that you think deserve it the least, because they need it
Yeah.
the most. It's not about giving love to the ones who deserve it the least, because that's your judgment. The one that you feel deserve it the least, because it's about your feelings. If you think someone doesn't deserve the love, that's the person you should be loving. And it's not about giving it to them. It's about getting it from you, because you should figure out how to love somebody that you don't know how to love, because that's really how the kindness grows exponentially.